Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Ever think about how much of who you are is tied to
What happened to you in the past and what would happen
yeah,
if you found out, like your whole life,
yeah,
was basically a lie. That is what Claire is dealing with. And Track Her Down by Melinda Leigh.
yeah, that's a pretty scary thought. Gets right under your skin.
It totally does. And the book starts out with this crazy scene that puts you right in the middle of this nightmare. Claire comes home and finds her parents. They've been murdered in their bed. It's brutal.
Oh, wow.
The way Melinda Leigh describes it. The crime scene, so much violence.
Mm-hmm.
But they're home. So peaceful, it's disturbing. But it just draws you in.
Right from the start, you tell something's off. This is even more true. But all the valuables, they're all still there. So, Bree Taggert, she's the sheriff investigating the case. She knows right away this is not a robbery. It's like one of those puzzle boxes. But instead of a friend, a nice picture on top, you've got this horrible crime scene. As Bree and her partner, Matt Flynn, start looking into it. The pieces of the puzzle, they just keep getting more and more twisted. I thought it was interesting how Matt is really affected by crimes against children. It adds this whole other level to his character and the way he investigates
that. He's carrying all those past cases with him, you know? It affects every decision he makes. And then the medical examiner says the murders were double-tap executions. Makes you think, whoever did this, was it professional? Calculated? Cold-blooded even.
Definitely. And to make things even weirder, there's no will. And the Masons, they don't seem to have very many friends. Almost like they were living in secret.
Yeah, so who were Josh and Shelly Mason, really? And what were they hiding? I think that question is even more important when you think about what Claire's going through. Her parents murdered like that, unimaginable. And then they send her to this chaotic foster home. She can't even bring her cat Chunk.
I know. My heart broke for her reading this book. She's trying so hard to hold on to the happy memories from her childhood, like swinging on the playground. But even those memories are going to be shattered.
And that's where the book really gets you thinking about identity. What happens when the past you thought you knew is all made up?
I know, right? And that's exactly what starts to happen. As the investigation goes on, they start interviewing people. Yeah. Who knew the Masons? Like Peter, Josh's business partner, he's so suspicious, and Amanda, the cleaning lady, and her son Liam. He just got out of jail, everyone. Seems to be hiding something. They all look like suspects.
And then they find the murder weapon. It was missing from Peter's house. That just complicates things even more. It's like Melinda Leigh is dropping all these clues to make us wonder, who did it? I really liked Renata. She's the deputy. And she really tries to help Claire.
Yeah, he's like a breath of fresh air. In all this darkness, she's so strong and caring. Even Chunk seems to feel it. He goes to Renata's mom for comfort. But just when you think, things can't get any worse for Claire. She is attacked.
Yeah, that attack at the playground, it was terrifying. It shows you how vulnerable Claire is. At least they got a sketch of the attacker, thanks to Adam. He's Bree's brother, and he's an artist.
Yeah, that scene was so well written. All that tension and fear, and then relief when Adam helps.
I know.
And another attack, this time at the foster home. Even scarier.
Yeah.
Because it feels like someone wants to shut Claire up.
Yeah, like, maybe her life was in danger.
Hang on.
And it might have been, because that's when we find out Claire isn't who she thinks she is.
This is where it gets really intense. We learn that Claire is actually Blaire Sawyer. She's a missing child who disappeared 12 years ago. And to make things even crazier, her biological mom, Pam Sawyer, still alive. What a plot twist.
Wow, it changes everything. So many questions. What happened to Blaire all those years ago? Who are the Masons? Why did they take her?
I know. And then we meet her brother. Denver shows up.
Yeah.
Great. Really tense reunion, I gotta say.
Yeah.
I was suspicious of Denver right away. Something about him felt off.
Interesting you say that, because at this point, the story splits in two. You've got the murder investigation, but now you've also got this whole other mystery about Blaire's past and how she disappeared.
Exactly. And then there's the connection.
Yeah.
To their dad, Dallas Sawyer. They thought his death was an accident, but now they're not so sure. Especially since the medical examiner found a glass shard in his neck.
Makes you wonder, was Dallas's death really an accident? Or was it something more? And then they find out he might have been working with the FBI. It's like, peeling back layers of an onion. Each layer even more interesting.
So true. And just when you think it can't get any more complicated, they start looking into the illegal exotic pet trade. And it looks like Denver might be involved.
Yeah, that wolf pup they found at Denver's place, that was a big red flag. Like, Melinda Leigh is trying to show us this whole other world. Illegal animal trafficking. Pretty messed up when you think about it, how some people will exploit anything, even innocent animals, just to make money.
And it adds this moral question to the whole story. Makes you think about how greed affects everyone, even animals who can't protect themselves.
Exactly. And then you've got Blaire Sawyer. She's Blaire's biological mom. And she holds this press conference suddenly. The whole case, all over the news, just adds to the chaos. Makes you think, how much is too much when it comes to the media?
Yeah.
You know? Well, the public has a right to know, but sometimes all the attention can hurt the investigation.
True. It's a tough balance.
And then, out of nowhere, this guy, Simon Osborn, comes forward, says he killed the Masons with his mind. Like he wished them dead. So weird, throws you for a loop.
It totally does. It's like Melinda Leigh wants to mess with us, make us question everything, makes you think about how easy it is for fake news to spread, especially in a case like this with so many mysteries.
Yeah, and it also brings up the issue of mental health, how it can affect a criminal investigation. Is Simon telling the truth, or is he delusional?
Yeah, it's hard to say. But even with Simon, they're still trying to find Denver and Claire. They track the wolf pup to this shady guy, Sean O'Boyle. He's deep into the illegal pet trade.
Not a good place to be.
And then things get even more serious when the medical examiner confirms that Dallas Sawyer's death was not an accident. It was murder. Someone made it look like an accident.
Wow.
It's like all these separate things, the murders, Blaire disappearing, Dallas's death, the illegal pet trade, they're all connected somehow.
Right. And then they find this connection between Dallas and Josh.
Wow.
The green juice bottles, remember those? Seems like a small detail, but it's actually really important.
Yeah, it's amazing how Melinda Leigh drops these little hints throughout the book. And then suddenly you realize everything is connected.
It keeps you guessing.
And speaking of twists, Denver kidnaps Claire and takes her to Madeline Yeager's lake house. What a cliffhanger. I could not wait to find out what happened next.
Madeline Yeager, the Cruella lady. What a character. She's in the wrong place at the wrong time. I love how Melinda Leigh uses her to build the suspense even more.
I know. The lake house becomes like Sadie, another character in the story, all isolated, full of secrets. And now it's where this final showdown is going to happen.
Yeah, it's like, pressure cooker, ready to explode. You've got Denver. He's armed, desperate. He's holding Claire hostage. Then you've got Madeline Yeager. She has no idea what's going on. And then there's Bree and Matt trying to get there in time to save Claire and catch Denver.
The way Melinda Leigh describes the lake house, the woods around it, it's so vivid you can feel the tension, like something bad is about to happen.
Totally like a Hitchcock movie. The lake is so still, leaves rustling in the wind, sirens in the distance. It's all so suspenseful.
And as Bree and Matt and the rest of the team get closer to the lake house, you know, it's about to go down.
It's a game of cat and mouse, but the stakes are high.
Really high.
Yeah.
And then the sliding glass door explodes. The standoff begins. It's such a tense moment.
It changes everything. Yeah, the confrontation at the lake house is just as crazy as we thought it would be. Denver's like a trapped animal, desperate and scared. And Claire's caught in the middle, having to face all this trauma from her past in the worst way possible.
So many emotions. You've got Bree and Matt trying to save Claire, but knowing one wrong move could end really badly. And then Madeline Yeager, she's suddenly right in the middle of this life or death situation. Melinda Leigh describes the scene so well. The broken glass, people yelling, running around. It's like, oh, you're right there with them.
Yeah, she's really good at suspense. And then Gunnar says something. That changes everything, he says. Claire helped him kill Josh Mason.
I was shocked. It totally changed how I saw Claire.
Yeah.
Before that, I thought she was just a victim, someone who had been used and abused. But now we have to face the fact that she was involved in Josh's death.
Yeah, it makes you think about good and evil. It's not always so clear. I mean, you can understand why Claire was desperate. She wanted to escape. But taking a life, even to protect yourself, it's a really complicated thing to do.
Definitely. And as the standoff goes on, Denver gets even more desperate. He grabs Claire and takes off running. Bree and Matt have to chase them through the dark house.
The action is nonstop. You're on the edge of your seat.
I know. And then Matt almost gets shot. Trying to protect Bree. It really shows you how dangerous their jobs are.
Yeah, their bond is put to the test. You can see how much they care about each other, how far they'll go to protect each other.
The tension keeps building. And then Denver tries to drown Claire in the lake. I was holding my breath until she was safe.
That was scary. It shows you how far gone Denver is. He's so afraid he'll do anything to save himself, even hurt his own sister.
And that's when we find out that Josh Mason was abusing Claire.
Mhm.
It makes you see her decision to help Denver
Yeah.
in a whole new light.
Yeah, like the abused, becoming the abuser. Claire was trapped in this cycle of violence, and helping Denver was her way of escaping, of taking back control.
It's a complicated situation.
Definitely.
But even in all this darkness, there are moments of hope, like Renata's mom. She offers Claire a safe place to stay.
It's nice to see that even in the worst situations, there are still good people willing to help.
And then there's Greta, the police dog. She's so brave, she saves the day, takes down Denver, protects Claire and the officers.
She's a hero.
But even though Denver's gone,
Yeah.
the story isn't over, there are still so many questions. What really happened to Dallas Sawyer?
Mm-hmm.
And how did the Masons end up with Claire in the first place?
Yeah, Bree and Matt, they keep investigating, uncover more lies, more corruption.
It's like peeling back the layers of a rotten onion.
And what they find out is really messed up. The Masons, they were con artists. They tricked people, stole their money and their lives.
When they found Shelly's go bag with all those fake IDs and cash, it showed they were always ready to run, to disappear. Claire was just another one of their victims.
Makes you wonder how many other people they hurt, how many secrets they were hiding.
Ugh. Even with all this bad stuff, there's some good too, Claire. After everything, she starts to heal.
It's good that the authorities, they understand that Claire was both a victim and someone who did something wrong. It shows that the justice system is trying to be more fair to people who have been through trauma.
For sure. So, we've reached the end of our deep dive into Track Her Down. What a ride.
Yeah, a lot to think about.
What stuck with you the most? The crime scene.
Oh.
All the twists and turns. Or maybe Claire's journey of survival and healing.
Let us know in the comments.
And if you'd like this episode, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep.